to story time with thee.
Hi there, friends. We're happy you're here for story time with Maxim and EE the elephant close by. This is a story about a quick painter who reaches the prize first, then loses it because he adds one thing too many. It is called Drawing a Snake and Adding Feet. Are you ready? Let's begin. Long ago, in the state of Chu, a family had just finished honoring their ancestors. The courtyard still smelled of pine smoke and rice cakes, while workers cleared bowls and swept the stone floor. They had worked since sunrise. By afternoon, everyone was dusty, tired, and thirsty. To thank them, the master brought out one small clay jar of sweet plum drink. Cool drops shone on the jar, and a fruity smell drifted through the air. Every helper leaned closer. Some had not tasted plum drink in a very long time. One guest licked dry lips. Another laughed and said, "Now that is a proper reward." But the jar held only enough for one person. If they shared it, each sip would be tiny. But if the master picked a favorite, the others would feel hurt. So the courtyard filled with murmurs. No one wanted to seem greedy. No one wanted to act as if the prize did not matter. "Save it for tomorrow," one guest said. "No, it should be cold," said another. "Let the oldest take it." "Then the youngest will complain," someone answered. "We could draw lots." "But luck may not feel fair either." If you were there, friends, what would you choose? Then, a quick-handed guest named Wei raised a twig. "I have an idea," he said. "Let us each draw a snake on the ground. Whoever finishes first wins the jar." "A fair contest," said Lin, the steadiest artist there. The master set the jar on a stone stool, then raised his hand for silence. "One snake each," he said. "No tricks. The first true snake wins." Even the sparrows on the wall seemed to wait.
Everyone knelt with sticks in their hands.
Scritch, scratch. Lines raced through the dirt as heads formed, tails curled, and dust gathered on sleeves and knees. Wei's hand moved faster than all the others. In only a few quick strokes, he finished the head, the body, and the tail. "Done!" he cried. He snatched up the jar and grinned. "I told you I was the fastest." He could almost taste the sweet drink already. Two guests groaned. Another muttered, "That was quick." For one smart moment, Wei should have stopped. His snake was clear and complete, but when he looked around, everyone else was still drawing. A smug idea slipped into his mind. "If I have time left," he thought, "I can make it even better." He bent down again. "Look how slow you are," he called. He wanted everyone to admire not only his speed, but his cleverness too. What would you do, friends? Would you leave the picture alone? Or keep fussing with it just to seem extra clever? Wei touched the dirt with his twig. "1 foot," he said. 2 feet. He added tiny toes. Then he laughed. "Why not 4? Tap. Tap. The first foot looked odd, and the second looked even stranger. 3 feet. 4 feet. Still, Wei kept going. Nearby, Lin kept working without looking up. He did not hurry, and he did not brag. He simply drew what he knew. A narrow head, a smooth body, and a tapering tail. Nothing extra, nothing missing. The other guests slowed down to watch. Some stared at Wei's extra lines, and some whispered, "Why is he drawing feet?" One older servant shook his head. "He is ruining a good drawing," he murmured. Can you imagine how quiet the courtyard grew? Just as Wei began the third foot, Lin stood up. "I am finished," he said. He brushed off his hands, walked to the stool, and picked up the jar.
"Wait!" shouted Wei. "I finished first!" He held up his twig. "That prize is mine." Lin pointed to Wei's picture and answered calmly. "You did finish a snake first, but then you changed it. A snake has no feet. If it has feet, it is no longer a snake." A ripple moved through the crowd. Of course, everyone knew snakes slithered on their bellies. The master studied both drawings. Lin's was simple and complete, while Wei's had turned into something strange. The master nodded. Lin is right. He did not need long to decide. The prize goes to the one who finished a true snake. He placed the jar in Lin's hands. A murmur rolled through the courtyard. Wei stared down at his drawing. Only a moment before, he had felt certain he would win. Now the extra feet looked foolish, and he let out a long breath. "I had already done enough," he admitted. He wished he could wipe those silly feet right off the ground. Lin took a careful sip, then lowered the jar. He did not laugh at Wei. "Your hand was quick," he said. "Next time, let your judgment be quick too." Wei nodded. Speed was useful, but wisdom mattered more. By evening, people all across the household were repeating the story. "The man who drew a snake and added feet!" They smiled because the mistake was easy to understand. A good thing can be spoiled by one extra, unnecessary step. That is why people remember this old saying from China: drawing a snake and adding feet. Do your work well, stop at the right moment, and let enough be enough. And that's the story of drawing a snake and adding feet. Remember, friends, when a job is already done well, know when to stop. Thanks for spending story time with us. We'll see you next time.